आज स्टूडियो में मेरे साथ बहुत ही खास मेहमान मौजूद हैं। बरतानिया के पाकिस्तान के अंदर हाई कमिश्नर डॉक्टर क्रिश्चियन टर्नर। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर गिविंग अस योर टाइम। वालेकुम अस्सलाम। यू स्पीक थोड़ा उर्दू? थोड़ा। So you're a man of good news normally. This is not a good day for everyone around the world, obviously for the people who love cricket, and you yourself, you're a big fan of the game. Did this come as a surprise to you or as a shock to you? Because I could see your tweet where you categorically made it clear that whatever the New Zealand team decided or the New Zealand authorities decided, your High Commission had nothing to do with it. But did this come as a surprise to you when you got to know about the English Cricket Board's decision?
So, look, first of all, I really accept this is a sad day. And no one is more disappointed than me. You know, I've been advocating for this moment, for the return of England cricket. For the first time in 16 years they were supposed to be coming. I've been out there working with the PCB, who've been absolutely fantastic, working with the ECB as well to get to this point. So, you know, you say there's ziyada frustration. I recognise and I understand that. And an ambassador likes to be a man of good news, not a man of bad news.
And you've always been a man of good news.
Well, we sometimes have tough messages, but look, I recognise this is not a good day. Was I surprised? I mean, the moment that the New Zealanders decided to withdraw, and that
you could see it coming after the New Zealand
well,
team?
that was a New Zealand decision, you know, based on their own judgments that they and their Prime Minister made, and obviously the two Prime Ministers spoke, so that was a significant decision. And the main thing I think I need to be clear on for your viewers is that this was not a decision that the British High Commission had a lock us in. This was for the England and Wales Cricket Board, which of course is an independent body. And critically, we did not advise against this tour on security grounds.
Oh, that's a big statement.
There is some suggestion that somehow my High Commission, my government was saying there's a security risk, and that is not what we advised. We were, we were happy for the tour to go ahead. And indeed, if you look at our travel advice, which is the main thing that we use to advise British nationals, that has been clear. There has been no change that we see to the threat in Pakistan.
Ambassador, if you look at the statement, it's a very carefully drafted statement by the English Cricket Board. It does not cite any threat alert. It basically tells about the physical and the mental, state of the players, and they want them to be comfortable at every phase. So, if not any threat alert, what else could be the reason? They put in a general reason, right? Coming to the region, it could have an impact on the players and their physical and mental health.
So this is really a question for the board. What it seems clear to me from their statement and my conversations with them is the players had a concern, and their main reason that they cite is player welfare. So you're right, the board is not saying, as the New Zealanders did, there is a security problem. What they are saying is that the players did not feel able to travel, and that is about the schedule, that's about the preparation for the World Cup and making sure those players were best prepared. Now, I respect that decision, that is for them to take, but what I want to be clear about is that there was not a security conversation where I was or my team were advising against this tour going ahead.
So, you know what achhi khabar is, but this was a buri khabar for Pakistani people and people all over the world who love the game of cricket. So, Pakistan's government, they've taken a stand. I'm sure, assume you know the person, Mr. Fawad Chaudhry is the Federal Information Minister. He tweets today in Urdu, and I quote, that a part of his tweet says that this is an international conspiracy against Pakistan. So are we being Pakistanis, are we right to assume or to believe that the English Cricket Board, the international cricket, has fallen prey to a conspiracy?
So, Fawad Chaudhry is a good friend of mine.
He certainly is.
I don't want to disagree with him on your show. Look, I'm a great believer that often the truth is slightly more banal than the conspiracy. Clearly, there is a question of perceptions of Pakistan internationally. And actually, if you look at my role here as High Commissioner, from the day I arrived, I have tried to be clear about challenging those perceptions. It's not my job to be a cheerleader for Pakistan, it's my job to advance British interests. But where I see those perceptions differ, I like to call them out. So I changed the travel advice when I first arrived. You've seen me all around the country enjoying the Mazdar Khana,
and you've enjoyed the level of hospitality.
I have enjoyed the hospitality and everything about it. So I think what Fawad is trying to say is that there are these perceptions that make people nervous about coming. Now, my job is to give, actually, and I'm legally obliged to give advice to British nationals. And if I see a threat to British nationals, I can't say that's going to upset someone. I have to put that in my travel advice. And we can change our travel advice almost on a daily basis if we want. So, I don't recognize this big conspiracy, but I do recognize that there are perceptions that we have to keep working together to overcome and show that the Pakistan of 2021 is very different from the Pakistan of 2001. And that is very relevant as we see.
And we have come a long way. Pakistan has come a long way.
I would agree with that. I think credit to the security apparatus.
Indeed.
Lives lost,
Yes.
hard fights fought. And I think it's very relevant as we have been through the momentous issues of Afghanistan, the fall of Kabul in the last month. Everyone is reflecting on that and trying to understand what is happening and the implications, not just for Afghanistan, but for the region and the world. And I would observe that the way in which our two countries are working on these issues is very aligned. We want the same thing. We want stability, we want peace, we don't want terrorist attacks.
Great.
So
That's
actually
great.
we must be together.
So, Ambassador Turner, here we are today. I mean, the English Cricket Board pulls out of this tournament. Obviously, we're not having the matches next month. And there is a series, there are matches lined up for 2022. So what do you foresee? All going good towards that?
So look, we have got to redouble our efforts to work together, and I will do that with Ramiz Raja, with Wazim Khan. They have done an extraordinary job, Ehsan Mani before Ramiz. My commitment is I'm still determined to be celebrating here when England cricket returns. There is a full commitment which the ECB reaffirmed in their statement yesterday to a full tour, all formats in the autumn of 2022. That is going to be a massive occasion next year, so I really see a confident path towards that. And I just wonder, and Ramiz hinted at this, whether the best reply to this sad day will be from the Pakistani players themselves.
Yes.
Who, when they get
Indeed.
to the World Cup, Chaka Lagaka, they're going to be feeling.
Now, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
They want to show what they can do.
Pakistan's team needs to exhibit that. Towards the very end, obviously, since you're a man of good news, you gave us a good news. I mean, Pakistan is finally off the red list. What next for the people who intend to travel to United Kingdom, and how is it going to be now?
So this is good news, and I know this also has been very tough. I
really wanted this to be attributed to you. I mean, you being his.
You are kind. Look, it's the centerpiece of our relationship. It's the close links between the two populations, and we are like this together.
Indeed.
Many travelling back and forth. So as of next Wednesday, I think it is. It is today. Forgive me.
Yeah.
I am behind. It is the 22nd. Those rules will change, and people will be able to return. And then from the 4th of October, actually the amber list, which Pakistan is on for the next 2 weeks, disappears, and the requirement will be vaccination for entry. So there will be a set of rules of vaccinations, and if you don't have the requisite vaccinations, then you will have to self-isolate. But what I'm pleased about is this requirement to go to a hotel, which is expensive and been very, very tough for people, is no longer there.
Ambassador, before you sign up from Capital Talk, from Geo News, your message to the people of Pakistan who are greatly, hugely disappointed because they see the match is not taking place. So what's your message for the people of Pakistan?
So for the people, mujhe afsos hai. I am sorry.
Bahut afsos hai.
Bahut afsos. This is a sad moment, and I personally feel that, given the work I've done to it. But second, I think I would reiterate that this is not a story of security threats or of people trying to do Pakistan down. This is about the ECB and their players taking a decision. And we must all work ever harder together to challenge those perceptions and to return to that day when we have cricket winning in Pakistan, whatever side you are supporting.
And the message from people of Pakistan to you is that hum aapko abhi bhi utna hi pyar karte hain. They still love you the way they were used to.
Bahut shukriya.
That's very kind of you, Ambassador. You've given us your time.